am Calvin's 6-month baby update and my postpartum update. Just a little bit about me. It's mostly about Mr. Calvin. If you're interested, I will leave a link down below to my blog post on our 6-month update. That's already been posted a couple weeks ago. This is coming up a little bit late here on YouTube. But I just have some notes here on my phone, and Calvin is joining us. He just woke up from a nap, so he could be getting hungry soon. But we're going to hurry up and get through this little update for you guys. Okay, what are we going to talk about first, Mr. Cow? He really wants my phone. So at his 6-month checkup, he was 20 pounds and 1.6 ounces and 28 and a half inches tall. So he's a big grown boy. He was in like the 90 or 80th percentile in both his height and weight, but he was in like the 50th for his head size. So he has a normal size head on a large body. He's still not crawling yet, but he is trying his very best at it. He's pretty good at sitting up by himself. You might see him topple over sometime in this video, but he's actually really good at sitting up by himself, just like he is now. But the crawling thing is a little bit more difficult. He hasn't gotten that down yet. He doesn't get up on his hands and knees at the same time. He's either one or the other. So he's still working on it. I know that he wants to get at stuff because he'll lay down and like whine and stretch and like really try to get at objects and stuff that he wants to go for, but he hasn't figured out how to actually go for them. He's not army crawling or anything like that yet. We have moved him from the bumbo to an actual high chair for mealtime, and that's, I think, partly because he's so tall. He like would kick his heels down on the counter, because we do have him on the counter when we're feeding him in the bumbo. It's not like we just abandoned him there. I know it's technically not supposed to be on risen surfaces and stuff like that, but I mean, he's always sitting in there and trying to kick himself out of it. So we were like, okay, if this is gonna be dangerous, something bad's gonna happen, we gotta put him in the high chair. And he's actually pretty good with the high chair. He wasn't totally as stable as he is now when we first put him in there, but he seemed to be doing pretty well anyway. So with the high chair that we have, he can kind of lean back. He can kind of lean back a little bit, but also it's a little bit tight so that like the tray itself kind of holds him up as well, so he's not like all flopping all over the place in the high chair. What are you doing, BB? You wanna lay down? Okay, here's your box, here's your car. He is still nursing like 6 or 7 times a day. He nurses all the time. I mean, he really does. He loves to eat. Even though we have, just the past week or so, we've been starting to feed him baby food 3 times a day. It was previously just twice a day at like lunchtime and dinner time. Now we're also doing breakfast time, and he's still nursing just as much as he was before. Really the only times that we have given up nursing, like since from when he was a newborn, are like one nursing session around midnight, and then one when I first get home from work around like 5 o'clock, 4 or 5 o'clock. Those are the 2 that we've kind of dropped since we have been a little bit older now, not newborn anymore. But he does still get up once in the night, usually between 1 to 3 o'clock in the morning, which has been pretty steady. He's been doing that for like almost a couple months now. Every once in a while he will get up a little bit more often, and some nights, about once a week or so, he'll sleep all the way through the night. He is up early at like 5 o'clock because that's when me and Justin get up to go to work, so he's used to being up that early, but I still count that as sleeping all through the night because that's a typical night for us. If he sleeps through the night, it's like 7 p.m. to 5 a.m. He did have his first sickness this month. He had a little bit of a cold, like coughing a little bit and just stuffy runny nose all at once, and that was really sad because when he would try to eat, you know, it was a pain to even breathe and eat at the same time, so that was really sad. It lasted about a week or so, and it wasn't too terrible. He really only had a couple of like really bad days, but it was just sad seeing him all stuffy and sad, and he was actually, he kept a high spirits. He was still relatively happy for being this, you know, sick and kind of sad looking. He looked worse than he felt, I guess, because he wasn't like super whiny or anything like that. We do put him down in his crib on his back, but he always rolls to his belly, and he really doesn't even like being on his belly. You can tell he's like really fidgety and rolling all over and kind of being whiny, and you can tell he doesn't like it, but he always lays that way. He used to like sleeping on his side before he learned how to roll both ways, but ever since he's learned how to roll both ways, he just has to be either totally on his back or totally on his belly. He doesn't like to lay in that side position anymore. He usually takes about 2 naps a day, and they're about an hour and a half each. Sometimes he might do 3 naps if it's like a 30-minute and then a 30-minute, and then he'll sleep a long one, but Usually he's about a 2-nap kind of guy. We've been really consistent about doing bedtime stories with him and reading right before bedtime. He's actually really good at going to sleep all by himself. Sometimes, most of the time, I will nurse him to sleep, but if he happens to still be awake even after he's done feeding by our last feeding of the night, he will still just go in his crib and be a good little boy and fall asleep all by himself like 99.9% of the time. He's like really, really good about just putting himself to sleep. Which, I mean, we're totally, totally grateful for. He's a really great baby. He totally is. I mean, he has his moments, as all people do. You know, sometimes we have bad days as grown-ups. So overall, he's an awesome little boy, and it's just so exciting. I can't believe he's already half a year old. Like, that's really crazy. It feels like it's been so long. Like, I can hardly remember life before without Calvin, and yet at the same time, he's still so little. I mean, it's just it's just crazy to think about. It's how it can be both. So for a little bit about me, I am still in the 10 to 15 pounds away from my goal weight right now, which I'm actually, I don't know, I've been much more content and fine with that lately. When I was first, the first couple months postpartum, it kind of sucked. Like, I hated my belly, I hated my stretch marks, I just didn't like not being able to fit into anything. But since I bought, a couple pairs of pants that fit and a couple other new items of clothing that make me feel happy and that I actually can wear, it just makes me feel a little bit better about where I'm at. And 10 to 15 pounds, I know it'll come off eventually. I'm just not working super hard at trying to get it off. But I'm happy with where I am right now. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did like it. Don't forget to subscribe if you're interested in seeing more of our journey. And I will talk to you guys next time. Bye. Say bye, BB. Bye. Say bye. You just want to escape, huh? Where are we gonna go? Where are we gonna go? Where are we gonna go? You see yourself in that mirror over there?